Next item, please.
Special reports, special education, Mr. Mike Esseily.
All right. Good evening again, President McDonald, Board Trustees, Superintendent Maleko. It gives me great honor and pleasure to present to all of you tonight regarding our Special Education Department. As Dr. Maleko alluded earlier within his commentary, it is National Disabilities Awareness Month, so we thought what a great month it would be to highlight some of the things that we're doing within our Special Education Department. Before I turn it over to my two great colleagues, Ms. Fatin Sob, who's our transition coordinator, and Ms. Dina Saad, who's our autism coach, I'm just going to give you a little overview of our special education department. We are proud to serve over 2,000 students here in Dearborn who have special needs. Now that includes students who come to our district in Dearborn, but also our non-public school students who go to private schools, as well as our resident students who go to non-resident schools depending on their specific needs. We have over 500 amazing staff members in special education. It was very heartwarming right now listening to Ms. Ali Bazzi's short paragraph regarding one of our paraprofessionals who truly go above and beyond and do whatever it takes. We have great teachers, social workers, speech pathologists, psychologists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists, some of which are actually here in the audience today, so I want to definitely give them that acknowledgement. Here in Dearborn, we have over 10 different programs, so we're very lucky that we have a large continuum here to where we can support most students in providing them with whatever they specifically need. With that being said, we're always trying to improve. I'm trying to get better, our teams are trying to get better, and staff is always trying to get better. So we do have some focuses, and one of the primary ones is specially designed instruction. Whether it's working with our teachers on brain-friendly reading, which uses a sensory approach to teach reading and close that achievement gap within reading, or working with some of our social workers, psychologists, on different social-emotional learning or positive behavior supports that will help our students overcome some of the challenges that they're faced with. Before I move any forward to Fatin, who's going to talk a little bit about our post-secondary and transition, I do want to acknowledge that I do think that it takes a village, especially when you're educating a child with special needs. And I think we're very fortunate here in Dearborn. First and foremost, I want to thank our amazing parents. They are absolutely phenomenal. They are great to work with. There's always great collaboration, listening to one another, and they truly know their child the best whenever we're sitting around any table or meeting. So thank you to our parents. In addition to that, I do want to recognize some of our local organizations that have worked to support our special needs students. Access does a lot of different things, whether it's through the mental health avenue or through the intervention support avenue. The Amity Foundation, just a couple weeks ago, they actually, with some of our high schools, sponsored a special needs kickoff festival, which was absolutely amazing, and I know they're also involved with the special needs prom. Blue Hands United, which I know that both Mona and Miriam Alloway are here today supporting, and they supported with the pledge. They do annual events for our kiddos with autism. In fact, this Sunday, they're taking a lot of our families over to the apple orchard just to provide them with those specific experiences. C-Assist, not only are they our partners with some of the vaccine clinics, but also just past week, they connected us with a phenomenal speaker who came in and spoke about life after COVID and the trauma experience that some of our students may experience. The Dearborn Lions, you guys, I don't know if you recall, Michael Shammy was here giving the pledge today. And on Saturday, he scored his first touchdown. Thank you, Trustee Barry, who saw him go over that goal line. It was an absolutely phenomenal event, very, very inspiring. So we appreciate things along those lines. External Light and Exchange Club, they're very, very helpful with some of their different donations, especially to some of our needy families. The Islamic Center of Detroit, they over the summer actually held a special needs festival for their Eid. That was actually wonderful and great, so we appreciate that. Project Dignity, as I speak, I'm gonna really quick click on a video that they created. They have been supporting developing sensory rooms all across our district. They have donated the specific materials and worked with our staff just for some of these sensory rooms, so we appreciate that greatly from Project Dignity. And LAHC, who's been our partner with just helping our students kind of bridge that gap with different life and job skills. With that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Jafer, or Ms. Sob, I'm sorry, who's going to talk a little bit about transition.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to start by talking about the job opportunities and work experiences that many of our students have right now in the community, and I wanted to recognize some of these businesses. Henry Ford Museum, Modern Greek and Salad Bar, Paradise Barani, Goodwill, the Doubletree Hotel, and then Project Search, which is our one-year internship at Beaumont Hospital in Dearborn. We also have our annual career fairs, where guest lists are based off the students' post-secondary goals that are listed on the students' IEPs. Workshops for our students on their certificate of completion path. And in these workshops, they do things like mock job interviews, stocking shelves, folding laundry, and then a workplace fashion show. We also work hard on preparing our students and families for transition from high school, and it's very student-centered. Students are given transition assessments and actively participate in their transition IEPs and their transition plans. We do things like financial planning, employment support, which means sometimes getting job coaches from outside agencies, and vocational training, daily living skills like learning how to use public transportation, meal prep, home safety, etc. And then we also focus on self-awareness and advocacy. And one other thing that we do is we bring representatives from the colleges and universities in the area to meet with our students to talk about how they can receive accommodations in the college setting.
Hi everyone, my name is Dina Saad. As a coach, as the autism coach for the district, I work closely with Wayne Risa to make sure that we are building capacity for our families, our educators, our community. In our district, autism is rapidly growing, just like nationwide. We have over 20 ASD classrooms all over the district. We're going to talk about our goal is to prepare our students to be learners inside and outside of.
May I ask you to hold on
Yep.
just a moment? Please do not talk. We cannot hear the speaker. She has the floor. No one else in the room has the floor. Thank you. Please continue.
Thank you. So our main goal is to prepare our students to become learners inside and outside of the classroom. And we do this by different forms of instruction. We do a lot of community-based instruction where students are able to go out into the community, to local businesses and stores, and really practice those daily and life skills. We try to do peer-to-peer programs and school-wide inclusion, whether that be a coffee cart business. I know in the high school they do dog treat business. So lots of fun stuff happening across the district. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys very much. That'll conclude our short presentation. If you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer.
I just want to make one statement. Not long ago, I had a parent of a special needs child come up to me, and they were in the Dearborn district for a while, and they said that the experience that their child had going to the supermarket and doing those life skill things made all the difference in the world to that student and helped them prepare for life. And we are doing that all over the district, whether it's being a child learning to read or a child learning life skills that they will need. So I want to thank you very much for the important work you do. It is noticed, and our students are better for it. Thank you. Trustee Watts?
I'm not quite sure if this is necessarily for you or maybe for another one of our staff members, but I know before COVID, our staffing, especially for our special education teachers and our parapros, was difficult to fill. And I know since COVID that it's gotten worse. How are we right now with filling those positions?
Okay. Well, I could tell you overall it's still a challenge. We still have some vacancies within the district, and that's really accustomed to just the whole national shortage. But I can tell you, comparatively and relatively speaking, we do stand in much better spots than a lot of our neighboring districts. And I want to thank, Dr. Maleko, the board, and our Human Resources Department, who have made it very, very competitive and appealing to work here in Dearborn. For our paraprofessionals, actually, I could tell you last year at this time, there were some very challenging times. This year, I could tell you for the most part, most of our vacancies are filled, whether it's with a full-time staff member or what we call a premier sub or something along those lines. So we're very blessed and fortunate in that realm. However, there's still work to do, though, definitely.
All right, thank
Trustee
you.
Petchikoff?
I know that we continue to hear from certain sectors of the schools when it comes to meeting the needs, especially when they're in the general classroom. And I want to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to help support um, the requirements that you're finding challenging, not only staffing, but I'm going to assume classroom-wise, having the ability to give these students the best experience that they can have to help them grow and become mainstreamed in the community, but also to protect the student population at large in getting their best quality education in the classroom. Are we challenged just by logistically by room availability if we have a growing population, or are we still able to accommodate?
No, I don't think we ever look at providing services as a convenience thing or an inconvenience thing. If a child needs specific services, not only legally is it our responsibility to do so, but morally and ethically, it's the right thing to do. Now, however, I will tell you, least restrictive environment is something we believe in here in Dearborn. I can tell you there's a huge push, not only from the state, but also the federal level. Hence, we are doing some different things to develop different, better systems. We recently just added not only an early childhood coach, but also an early childhood autism coach who's here in the audience as well. In addition to that, hopefully tomorrow will be the first day we will be starting a BCBA within our district as well, who really works specifically on the behavior science and working with students on behavior intervention plans and things along those lines. Unfortunately, within the world of special education, things don't happen overnight. It does take time. It is a process. But the most important thing, I think, is to ensure that we have those systems in place and the outlets, if necessary, in the case that a child does need more.
So is there anything else we can do to help support you in that?
You guys have been phenomenal. We have more social workers than ever now. We have more than 50 school social workers in the district. That number has nearly doubled in the last 5 years. So I appreciate all of your support, and just keep advocating for us at the state level. I know Dr. Maleko does a very fine job at that, and so we can just continue to move forward and give these students the support that they deserve and they need. And I am telling you this, I'm extremely appreciative of where we are right now as a district in that realm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Mary.
He did a good job with the clean answer there. He should have just said, just provide me with more funds.
I was waiting for
So
him.
you know what? Very good questions, my colleagues. That's exactly what I was thinking. So I'm going to go a different direction right here. I want to recognize somebody. It takes a village, and you mentioned a lot of partners that we have, and thank you to all of them. But I want to mention a special person. She's in this room with Miss Mona Alawiye. Miss Mona Alawiye. So this lady must have like 4 or 5. She's cloned herself. I know that because everywhere I go, she's there. So I know, no doubt, when she calls, you answer the phone.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
thank you very much.
That's for sure. All right.
Trustee
I had
Mazza.
the same question about now that we have more social workers, which is great. How about psychologists?
So psychologists, we were able to increase a couple over the year. We're always possibly looking at ways how we can expand some of that. Now, I can tell you there's a extremely critical shortage with school psychologists, and that's something that I think we're challenged with, not only here in Dearborn, but I could tell you across the state. And hopefully, though, we'll continue to work with the county and at the state level, too, to try to attract more school psychologists.
And I know you mentioned the community partners, and it definitely takes a village. Folks like Muna and also Ms. Nahid Ayub of Project Dignity showcasing those sensory rooms. And I ask folks to support organizations like these that are giving back to our community as well. So your support is appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Moser, for mentioning that. It's very
Trustee
important
Watts?
work.
It's already been answered.
Oh, your question's been answered. Okay. Oh,
Just quickly, I
Dr.
want to
Maleko.
thank the teachers and the psychologists, the social workers, the entire department. I love going to the classrooms, and I really thank you because I see how much you care about your students, and I know how important that is. And I also know the challenges you face. I may not know it to the level you do, but I see it firsthand when I go, and I see the positive outlook that you have for those students. And it was great to have our students here today with the pledge. So thank you so much to the entire department.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maleko and everybody.
Thank you. Before we get to the next item, I'm going to make another statement, please, if I can have everyone's attention. The purpose of these meetings is to conduct the business of the board. Because we appreciate and value the input from our community, we set aside time at each meeting to hear your thoughts and your concerns. This time is not meant to be a dialogue, but an opportunity to hear from our constituents. That is why we generally do not respond to each comment made at the time, even though many of the comments are opinions and not always based in fact. We know that thoughts are shared during public comment section of our meetings may be critical to our actions or those of those that work in our district. As elected officials, we accept that our actions will be judged either positively or negatively by our community members. However, comments made that are critical should not be hostile, slanderous, or out of line with the district's core values. All of our employees go through a rigorous background check, so making baseless and inappropriate accusations could have legal ramifications. Words and tones do matter, so let's all be civil and respectful. The ability to share civil discourse without being mean-spirited or slanderous seems to be a lost talent. Our children are watching. I would ask that all of us work together to be a model behavior we can be proud of. Behavior that allows for differing opinions, voices, ideas, and thoughts to be shared without malice, harm, or vengefulness. I am asking that all of us here tonight be respectful of every speaker. That means to listen and not to talk when you do not have the floor. I will respect everyone here by doing my part as board president to treat everyone with the same level of fairness. Therefore, no one will be allowed to exceed the 3-minute time rule. Each person has 3 minutes to convey their thoughts, and there will be no sharing of minutes. Although we have allowed this in the past, it is truly unfair, and we will no longer allow anyone to speak more than their allotted 3 minutes. Therefore, no, I am,
Just keep
as
going,
board
Roxanne.
president, I have the right to set the time limits.
You have the right to sit there and tell us we can't talk.
Roxanne, just continue, Roxanne, just
Okay.
continue.
I have the floor. Everyone will be treated fairly. Everyone will be treated fairly. Okay, I'm going to continue with my statement.
Hey guys, if we can have everyone just calm down, we got something to continue the meeting. Everyone just please calm it down. I was here a month ago. The rule of 3 minutes was common. When nobody was here and there was 10 people speaking, they only let 3 minutes for everyone. So if you want to get your points across, let's not shout. We all know what we're here for. Let them continue the meeting, and the people who turned in the blue cards prior to 7:10 will be able to speak. So guys, let's keep it calm so we can keep it moving, all right?
Thank you. I am. We have always had the 3-minute rule. We have abided by the 3-minute rule. When we have a stack of blue cards this large, we need to hear everyone. In the past, we have had people that when their 3 minutes are up, they continue to talk. And then we've had other people, when their 3 minutes are up and I tell them thank you, they stop talking and they sit down. For fairness for everyone, we are allotting 3 minutes for everyone. So those that do follow the rules will be within the rules, and those that tend to push the boundaries and want to take advantage of the rules will not be able to. That is all we're doing. So let me please continue my statement. Therefore, no one will be allowed to exceed the 3-minute rule. Each person has 3 minutes to convey their thoughts, and there will be no sharing of minutes. Although we have allowed that in the past, it is unfair because it gives someone else more time to speak. There is a timer located that the speaker can see. When the timer is almost over, you will see the timer change colors. When you have reached your 3 minutes, the volume on the microphone will be turned off. This is the best way to ensure equal time for everyone. Again, all of us on the board value community input and respect the many diverse opinions shared by our residents. We will not condone behavior that is harmful, hateful, or disruptive, but we will always respect and defend the principles of our democracy. So let's show our children how to behave with civil discourse, share our thoughts, share our ideas, share our opinions in an adult, respectful, and civil manner. Thank you.
Citizen participation. Citizens wishing to address the board on agenda and non-agenda items for action who are signed in by 7:10 p.m. by submitting a blue card to the board secretary may speak at this time. The board may not be in a position to respond to non-agenda items. Therefore, speakers should not anticipate an immediate response to their comments or questions. For the benefit of all concerned, do not mention the names of students or school district employees. Please keep your comments as brief as possible, and the board president reserves the right to limit times.
Before we continue, Trustee Barry wanted to make a statement.
Yes, speaking of the 3-minute rule, I know in 2020 when I chaired this board, legal advice was that we should limit the 3 minutes down to 2 minutes with a total of 30 minutes citizen participation. And we unanimously said, absolutely not. We want to hear from our parents. That served us well. We sat in our dining rooms. We sat in our dining rooms over Zoom meetings, or we sat in this room sometimes for 4, 5, 6 hours listening to our partners. Yes, you are our partners. This is not parents of Dearborn Public Schools against the school board. We are partners to do what's in the best interest of our students. So please, let's keep it respectful. If somebody's talking and you don't agree with his opinion, you have an opportunity to address this board. We do want to hear from you. I would love to see more people involved when we're spending $300 to $400 million a year to get involved and start asking us questions there. This is a very important topic. This is a very important topic. So in 2020, it was the global pandemic. In 2021, it was masks. And today's debate is books. This is a national debate, my friends. In Dearborn Public Schools, it started by one parent that was very welcomed by this board. And we listened to her, and we welcomed her, and we listened to her ideas. And that's why we're here tonight to continue this debate. But I would like to see it respectful. Madam President, if you don't mind, I've been seeing a lot of stuff on social media. If you don't mind, when the Madam Secretary reads out the names, if we can, she can also express what city they're from.
Yes.
Please, it's important for me if we do that.
Yes, and if it's not written on the blue card, then they can tell us when they come up. Mr. Shammy, I need you to come. You wanted to make a statement? Yes, that's fine.
Right. Guys, don't clap yet. Don't clap yet. You guys are gonna hate me right now. So, the reality is that we're breaking a fire code. Hello?
You're on.
You guys hear me? Yeah. Guys, the reality is saying, Barry said, and as I said in the speech at the Henry Ford Library, we're not opposed. We're not fighting the board. We're working with the board. As parents and taxpayers for public schools, we have to work together because the law support the parents for the students' education. However, in this case, through the hallways, the setting right here, we're breaking the fire code, and what they're going to ask, so the meeting can continue, and those who want to speak that turn in blue cards will be able to speak. We're going to ask everyone to step outside. You can stay on the property. Everyone has an iPhone. You go on YouTube. Guys, what? Hey, 1 second. Listen up. Guys, listen up. You guys know whose side I'm on. Guys, you guys know whose side I'm on. Listen up. Listen up. Guys, relax. If you have any respect for the, if you guys have respect for the people who are putting in the work, listen up.
Yeah.
Guys, Guys, they're gonna shut down the meeting if you guys don't comply. They're gonna find out again. If you want the parents to speak, let's do it. Somebody on the phone, stay on the property. The people who are going to speak will remain inside. Guys, the people who are gonna speak will remain inside.
Hey, everyone, quiet down for 1 quick second, please. Right? That's what we've been informed right now.
On the fire marshal.
By the fire marshal. So hold on.
We could go down
We
here.
need a recess. We can't. We need a recess.
Yeah.
Tell them that we have to recess until we can get this taken care of.
We're going to be recessing until we can get the situation under control. This is breaking the fire code. We need to get the fire marshal's opinion, and we need to get some people cleared out of the room. This is a dangerous situation. We are taking a recess.